Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here with my March TBR, which are all the books that I will hopefully read in March. I say hopefully because I have a pretty big stack. So let's get started. I have an in-person friend book club. We call ourselves the Candy Salad Book Club. We made our choice for our next selection. We picked our next book. Gosh, I was trying to sound all fancy. No, we picked our next book. It is The Secret Life of Bees by Monik Sue Monk Kidd. Never read this. This is kind of a beat up copy because I got it secondhand from the library sale. This is one of my best friend's favorite books. I don't really know what it's about. South Carolina in 1964 and a racist town. I don't know. Our book club changed our format, so we have chosen books that have been turned into movies. So we read the book and then we watch the movie. Our last one was Gone Girl. We still haven't watched Gone Girl. I read that book. I wish I hadn't. But I'm really excited to read this one. I think it's going to be good. For the Buzzwordathon, hosted by Books and Lala here on YouTube, the theme for March is the word thing. So I will be reading The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dave. I have no idea what this is about. It's a thriller. It's about a disappearance and his wife after he disappeared. I don't really know. I know that this is a popular book. A lot of people have read it. My friend passed this book on to me like 2 or 3 years ago. She's like, I read it and I'm done with it. Do you want it? And I said, sure. And it's just been sitting on my shelves. So I'm going to finally read it, and I'm happy that this month the Buzzwordathon is a book that I can get off of my physical TBR. Always a great thing. I went to the library and got way too many books. Oops. So we're going to talk about those now. I got 3 books that were not horror books, so we're going to talk about them first. The first one I got was The Roommate Risk by Talia Hibbert. I just love Talia Hibbert's writing. I just finished rereading Get a Life, Chloe Brown. She writes romance so well. The characters are so relatable. I love that it is, her main female characters are Black, usually plus size, and some have some kind of, not mental illness, but they're not perfect. And I like that. I like that there's different representation. So in this one, Jasmine Allen has been renting a room with her friend from school, and there is a freak flood in her room and Jasmine has to move out, so she calls her best friend Raul to see if she can stay with him. They've been friends for a really long time, but what Jasmine doesn't know is Raul secretly loves her. So there's it's a romance, there's forced proximity. He's never told her how he feels, and so obviously they're gonna fall in love. I'm really excited about this one. I got Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. This is a fiction, I think contemporary fiction. A woman dies and her 2 children are left with an inheritance for a recipe for a Caribbean black cake, which is a traditional cake that they make in the Caribbean, I guess. And a long lost sibling. And it's like a mystery that these 2 siblings have to go through after their mother passes away. I've never read anything by Charmaine Wilkerson. I know she has another book out, Dirt something. I can't remember. It just came out. But I saw this at the library and I'd been hearing a lot about it. I'm excited to read this one. How many times can I say I'm excited to read a book? I think if I picked it up from the library, it's probably something I'm excited about. I also got Ink Blood Sister Scribe by Emma Tours. I don't know how to say her last name. This is a fantasy book. A family has been tasked with protecting magical books. 2 sisters are estranged. Their father passes away reading a book that one of the sisters has never heard of, so then they have to get together and solve the mystery. It also sounds like dark academia. Again, did I say it was fantasy? This is a fantasy. Dark academia fantasy. I can't remember at the beginning of my sentence already. Haven't read this. Haven't read anything by Emma Tours, but heard a lot of good things about this one, so saw it at the library, picked it up. Story of my life. Onto the horror books. I got Youth Juice by E.K. Sethu. This is kind of like The Substance, that new movie that came out last year, where it's about people obsessed with staying and looking young. But it's a horror book. And the cover is really cool. I like it. Oh, see if you can get it without the glare. I don't know. It's just really cool. I know Haley Hughes just read this book and really enjoyed it. And so I'm going to read it too. I also got, The Night Guest by Hilda Newt's daughter. This is a translated work of fiction. Horror. This is a translated book. You are following a woman who every morning wakes up exhausted and can't figure out why. So she gets like a step counter and finds out that she's walking like 40,000 steps a night. But she doesn't realize it, and she doesn't know why. So of course she's really tired in the mornings. And so this is her trying to figure out why she's suddenly walking 1,000 miles every night. So it's a pretty short book. This is a newish release, and I can't wait to read it. My last library book was Pen Pal by Dathan Auerbach. This is a book that I've seen at the library for years and years and years, and I keep going, I'm going to pick that up, and I always find a reason to not pick it up and pick something else. And then the last like 5 times I've been to my big library, because we have like 6 libraries in town, and I go to the big one because that's one I like. It hasn't been there, and I'm like, of course, when I finally want to read it, it's not there. It was there this time. I had a book club meeting at the library. That's why I went to the library. Not that you need to know that, now that we're talking at the end of the library books. This is about a man who, when he was a child, his class did like a pen pal activity where they sent letters out, and he started getting letters and pictures and creepy things back. I've heard this is very disturbing, very creepy. Again, wanted to read it for a while. Finally saw it again at the library, picked it up. The only other books that I'm hoping to read / planning to read, I have Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. This is the sequel, or the second book in the Legendborn cycle. I'm finishing up the first book right now. And the third book, Oathbound, comes out on March 4th, so in just a couple days. I have pre-ordered that. I will be getting that. So hopefully I can I can finish Legendborn, I can read Bloodmarked, and hopefully I can read Oathbound in the month of March. I have 1,000 books, way too many books. I am still going to pick from the TBR jar. I just have so many things that I want to read. Thankfully I have spring break, so I can get a lot of reading done during that. And also we'll be traveling at the end of the month out of town. My son has a basketball tournament, like a 3-day tournament, so I should be able to get some reading done like between games and while we're traveling. So hopefully I can get through all of these. Going back to Bloodmarked. In this series, you are following Brianna Matthews. She infiltrates a secret society at University of North Carolina, and finds out that all of the people in this secret society, is called the Order of the Round Table, are descendants of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, or some way connected to them. And she goes in and infiltrates it, and she's the only black girl in this very, very, very white house. And so she's learning about the bloodline of the Knights of the Round Table and how they're fighting demons. She also finds out that her mother was a root crafter, so they call it root magic, which is very similar to the ether that the Knights of the Round Table use, the Order of the Round Table uses. So it's about black girl magic, Arthurian legends, secret societies, drama. It's a really good series. This is the sequel, which I don't want to talk about because it's a sequel. And I don't know what Oathbound is about. Obviously, it's the next one in this series. I am going to go ahead and pick some books out of my TBR jar. I had my daughter wanted to pick one. She picked the paper, and now I can't find where the paper went. It's somewhere in this mess. You don't want to see what I have going on over here. She picked The Thorns by Dawn Kurdagic. I don't know how to say this last name. This is a book that I literally got yesterday. It is one of the Amazon first picks, the Amazon Prime first picks for the month of March. So literally it's coming out this month. Just put it in the jar today. That's the one she picked. I don't know anything about it. I picked it because I don't know if you know what Amazon First Picks are. Amazon Prime First Picks are, if you subscribe to Prime at the beginning of every month, you get like a 5 or 6 book selection where you can pick one of those books that's coming out that month, and you can own it, like get it for free. So you can read it before it's published. In all the years that I have been doing Amazon First Picks, I have never seen a horror book that I can remember. Or if I have, it's been a very, very, very long time. And so since this one was labeled as horror, I went ahead and downloaded it. Again, have no idea what it's about, but I will be reading that, so yay. No, I am excited. I am excited. I say yay, but I am excited. I'm gonna go ahead and pick 2 more, because I just like to pick, I'm gonna pick 2 more. So I'll pick 3 from my jar, and then have all these other books. I'm totally, I dropped one. I guess I'm gonna pick this one. Totally overbooking myself for March, but I like to pick out of the jar and I like to have choices. So I picked, Razorblade Tears by S.A. Cosby. That's a good choice. This is a book that I have on my Kindle. It is about 2 men whose sons were lovers. Were they married? I don't know. But they were killed. They were unalived, I believe, and so their fathers are now like banding together to go and seek revenge, I think. I don't really remember. I know that this is a very loved book. I have read one other book by S.A. Cosby, really liked the writing. It is like thriller, crime thriller. It is usually like Black main characters, so representation that way. I've heard great things about Razorblade Tears, and I'm excited. We're gonna pick 1 more book because I want to pick 1 more. So we'll see what I get. Oh my gosh, too many. Too many! I got... Wow. Cool. I got Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I am excited about this because I want to start the Stormlight Archives, but I've heard you should read Warbreaker first. My face is because I looked at the audiobook for this and it was like 40 hours. That is one long audiobook. That is the longest audiobook I've ever listened to. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm gonna look again. Oh no, it's not. Oh, whew. Okay. I was thinking, okay, it's still 25 hours, which is still a very long audiobook, but thankfully not 40. I must have been thinking of one of the Stormlight Archive. I know that The Wind of Truth, his newest one, is 60 hours. That's too long for an audiobook. Okay, 25 hours. Still large, not the longest audiobook I've ever done. Actually, Elantris by Brandon Sanderson is the longest audiobook I think I've ever listened to. Okay, so we're gonna read Warbreaker. I don't know very much about it. It has to do with magic powers, maybe colors. The magic is colorful. I don't know. Again, I just put it on my list of want to read because I want to read Stormlight Archive, and I've heard that you should read this first because you know Brandon Sanderson. Well, if you don't, almost all of his books, like not all of his books are in what's called the Cosmere, but a majority of his books are in the Cosmere, and they're all kind of interconnected some way. And I have kind of read them out of order, because like I've read Elantris, I've read the first 2 Mistborn books. That's another series I never finished. I read Tress of the Emerald Sea, which is a standalone, but there are some that are more connected. And so I'm trying to get back into like the proper reading order. So I guess we're gonna read Warbreaker. On top of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 11 books I've already talked about today. And technically I have another library book that is getting ready to be picked up. That's a nonfiction book called Uncultured, which is written by the TikTok lady. She grew up in the cult of the Children of God, and then she went to the cult of the U.S. Army. Super excited to read that. But that's 13 books. And while I usually read 13 books in a month, it's not because I've planned to read 13 books in a month. It's because I've picked 10, and then I usually read more like mood reading. Huh. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. This is gonna be... Good thing I have a tournament to get to at the end of the month. Good thing I have spring break. I think I can do this. We can get it done. Also, I might not have to read The Secret Life of Bees this month. I don't know if we're going to be meeting for, like, to watch that movie at this month. Oh my gosh, I just remembered I have another book club book that I have to read too for the end of March. I'm excited because I want to read all of these books and I love to read, but I also just had a slight panic attack there. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Okay, so these are the books I'm reading. These are just the physical ones I'm reading. Warbreaker will be audio. The Thorns and Razorblade Tears are on my Kindle. I also have Oathbound coming at the end of the week. I have, and again, I have that other nonfiction, Uncultured, and then whatever my other like nonfiction book club, whatever we pick for that, I don't know. We haven't decided yet. It's fine. It's fine. I'm loving this. It's great. Okay, so here's my giant stack of books. And I guess I better wrap this video up because now I need to get started reading because I have a lot to do this month. But I can do it. I'm proud. I'm excited. I've said excited a lot, but it's gonna be a challenge. But now I want to know, have you read any of these many books and what did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.